of company. He sets the line at Churchill Downs, calls the races at Turfway, an analyst for NBC, and once a year he stops by and visits with us about the Spiral Stakes, which is coming up next Saturday. How you doing?
I'm doing good, John. How about you?
You know, for those who don't know, this is a prep race, one of many prep races leading up for 3-year-olds to the Kentucky Derby, but the Kentucky Derby's wide open, which makes races like this so valuable.
This race is very important. Whoever wins this race is almost assured to get into the field if they want, if nothing happens. So this is a huge race. There's no favorite for the Kentucky Derby right now. I'm telling you, it's completely wide open. In the last pool that Churchill did, which ended March the 4th, there wasn't a horse in single digits. Every horse was double digits. The field was still the favorite. So, I mean, it's just, this is every year is wide open. This is one of the most wide open derbies I've ever seen.
Well, that's what I was going to say. For that being the first Saturday of May, that's not all that far away for there not to be anybody who's kind of risen above the pack, is it?
Not even close. I mean, there's a horse called Cairo Prince. He won his last race by 8 lengths. He's going to run back in the Florida Derby. But if he doesn't win the Florida Derby, he won't be the favorite. There's a horse, California Chrome, that's coming off a couple of wins out in California. He's going to run back in the Santa Anita Derby. If he doesn't win that, he won't be the favorite. Right now, there's just, you know, those two are probably at the top of the class right now.
Okay, we're going to get to some of the horses in the Spiral in just a minute. But one thing you mentioned to me a little bit earlier is it's not just the class of horses coming here, but it's the horsemen coming here, which is a pretty elite class.
Yeah, you know what? This race has always drawn. We've gotten very good support from the horse racing community. We've got Todd Pletcher coming in. 6 times he's won the Eclipse Award, the best trainer. He's definitely right now at the top of the training game. He's the top trainer in the United States. Johnny Velasquez is coming in to ride his horse called We Miss Artie. Velasquez, in my opinion, is the best rider in the country. I mean, it's close, but I'd put Johnny Velasquez on top. He got hurt in the Breeders' Cup. I don't know if you were watching the Breeders' Cup, but he was in about the 4th or 5th race, the juvenile fillies. He got thrown. He had to have his spleen taken out. He broke a couple of bones.
Yeah.
He came back in February.
Wow.
And so he just got back into racing. He's back in top form, and he's coming in to ride a horse called We Miss Artie. We got Jerry Hollendorfer, who's coming in. Russell Bays rides for him. Russell Bays, people don't know who Russell Bays is, but he has won over 12,000 races. Yep. He's the leading jockey in races won forever in North America. Nobody's even come close. Lafitte Pinkai won 9,500. Pat Day, 8,800. Perry Oots, who's a legend around here, he's been riding forever, 6,000. That's great. Double that amount for Russell Bays. I mean, 12,000 wins, over 12,000. It's unbelievable. He's coming in. So we've got a lot of...
You mentioned Rosie
Napravnik. She's coming in. We've got Mike Maker, who's one of the leading trainers in the country. He's won this race twice. He's got 2 horses. And Pletcher, by the way, has won the Spiral twice also. So we've got some very good... We got Dale Romans. Of course, he won the Preakness. We've got Kenny McPeak. He's won a Belmont Stakes. We've got Stuart Elliott. He's coming in. He was the rider of Smarty Jones in all of his races. So we've got some big names coming in for the Spiral.
So tell me what that means. When you bring in the top riders, you obviously want to get something more. What do you want to get out of this? Obviously a win, but it's you want to see this person above that on that horse and see how they react. And
well, these riders are all jockeying for position right now.
Oh, okay.
They want Derby mounts. They want Derby mounts. Now, Russell Bays, if Tamarando goes, he rides for Jerry Hollendorfer all the time, so he's in. Velasquez is Todd Pletcher. He was his #1 rider. After he got hurt, Javier Castellano became Pletcher's #1 rider. Now Velasquez is not anymore, but it's real close. He needs to get. If We Miss Artie were to win this race, he would jump up there. The only problem with these top 2 horses, they both prefer the poly track, and of course the Derby's on the dirt. Right. These are both Grade 1 winners. Tamarando and We Miss Artie, they've won Grade 1 races, but both on the poly. We Miss Artie won the Breeders' Futurity at Keeneland. Was really, really impressive. Johnny V rode him that day. Tamarando, he won the Del Mar Futurity out in California. That was on the poly track. So back on dirt, it's just a different game. So we'll have to see how these 2 horses run. But either one of them, Well, if either one of these two wins, they're solid for the Derby as one of the favorites.
Okay, Mike, always a big crowd at Turfway on Spiral Day, and they want to find a horse that's going to make them some money. So let's go a little bit more with these horses. Let's talk about a few of the horses already signed up and in the field. We start with a couple who had success already at Turfway. First, here's Harry's Holiday. Tell me about him.
Harry's Holiday. Mike Maker trains. Rosie and Napravnik come in for the mount. This horse won the 96 Rock at Turfway. This is probably that. This is the 96 Rock. Drew off, wins by 8 lengths in here. He came back in my dad's race in the Battaglia, and he showed some speed, and he got beat by Solitary Ranger. He got beat 8 lengths, but he's coming back in this one, and this horse has got the breeding. Harlan's Holiday to go longer. I think he'll be able to handle the distance of 1 1/8 miles. And he's got top connections. Mike Maker, he's won a lot of races. He's winning at a 29% clip out at Turfway Park. So this horse is a definite contender.
Okay, Harry's Holiday, as Mike said, won here in February. They sent him back out there in mid-March to run in the Battaglia Memorial Stakes, which led just to a second horse with some success here. This is Solitary Ranger in the Battaglia Memorial.
I'll tell you what, this horse ran huge. I loved his race in my dad's race. There was a ton of speed in there. Harry's Holiday, one of the speed horses. Solitary Ranger, excuse me, got to the lead. Looked like they were coming at him a couple of times if you watch. All of a sudden, boom, he re-breaks. He opens up an 8-length lead. The jockey takes hold of him. The jockey's named Florent Giroux. Not a very well-known jockey, but he gets the job done. Wayne Catalano, the trainer, one of the top trainers. This guy gets horses ready. And if you watch the way he draws off, see this gray horse coming up on the outside in the pink silks? He's going to get second. Might be the best hunch in the race if he decides to go. It's the Horseshoe Casino Spiral. This horse's name's Poker Player that's coming up for second. So if Catalano, Wayne Catalano trains both of these horses, Solitary Ranger, who you see just winning easily, but Poker Player was making up some ground there. He will like the 1 1/8 miles too. So if Catalano runs them both, Poker Player might be a little better value, might be the play of those two.
Okay, unless Blackjack shows up somewhere along the way. Okay, let's look at a couple of other entries for Saturday's Spiral Stakes. We Miss Artie, you talked about, has shown a lot of promise, and we're going to see him running here in an absolute downpour. This was last October at Keeneland, I believe.
Yeah, this is him in the red cap on the outside here. He came from 8th. Watch him come down the stretch here. Johnny Velasquez is riding. He hit him one time. This horse, he wasn't even asking him to do his best. He just hand rode him to a victory. This is the only time the horse ran on the poly track. He loved it. He's coming back on the poly track. He's been running on the turf. Throw out the last race on the dirt. He ran in the Fountain of Youth last time out on a really speed favoring dirt track in California, in Florida. Had no chance whatsoever. He's a definite contender in this one.
Let's finish with one more of the contenders, and he's going to be coming up, I guess, from the west side of the United States. This is, you mentioned Tamarindo, already has lifetime earnings over $500,000, and this is last month at Golden Gate in, that's the San Francisco area,
isn't it? And he ran a really big race. This horse has run 10 times, 9 times he's been first, second, or third. The other time he ran 4th. He hooks up with a horse on the outside here, and he comes home. He wins it by a 1/2 length under Russell Bays. You'll watch Russell Bays getting into this horse. Another horse is coming at him, but he ran a huge race that day. Tamarindo, and that race was at 1 1/8 miles. There you see him just up on the outside. Boom. He gets up, and the same distance, 1 1/8 miles. He's the only horse in here that's won at the 1 1/8 miles distance. You saw the way he closed there, and he does the same thing in most of his races. So what he wants is a quick early pace. He wants to be coming from off of the pace. That's what he does his best running.
Well, it's always fun when you're dealing with 3-year-olds. It's always fun this time of year, and it's always fun on this day at Turfway Park.
Yeah.
You know, if you haven't experienced it, go out there and enjoy a day of racing.
Right. It really is. The community has really come forward. They've been back in this race since as long as I can remember. They come out for it, and it's been a party. You can't compare anything to Derby Week, but it's a mini Derby Week at Turfway Park. So yeah, we'd like everybody to come out. Hopefully we'll have that good weather. Who knows around here?
Good deal. Great to see you.
Thanks, John.
Have a real good season. Thanks to Mike. Also thanks to Terry Nelson, Ralph Lee, Scott Drought as we begin a very exciting week of basketball and horse racing. Thanks for being here. For Mark Slaughter, I'm John Popovich. Good night. We'll see you next Sunday on Meyer Sports of All Sorts.